guys, welcome back for another episode. We're so excited for episode 3. Today we decided to talk about generational curses. What are generational curses? How do you know you're living in a generational curse, and all of those good things?
It's gonna be so good.
So good.
So first we're going to start off with what is a generational curse?
All right. Simple. From my eyes, a generational curse is sins passed down from generations of my family. And I inherited them just naturally. That's just going to happen, because as a kid, your mom and dad's going to teach you things and you're going to catch on quick. Just like for us, Kosin, she watches everything we do. So we have to be extra careful. That's why we always in the Bible. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying, as the man, as the dad, I'm trying to learn from God so I can show her the love of God and God's ways. So generational curses, just sins. It's. I grew up thinking things that aren't okay now that I know.
Yeah.
I thought they were okay to do, to say, just everything. So
Unhealthy habits and trauma, all of the things. The main one that I can think about for the both of us would be anger, and we still deal with that to this day, to be honest. But God has definitely helped us so much through that. But we've both grown up to see people reacting, not necessarily people, but our parents reacting out of anger, just right off the bat. A situation could happen or something, and boom, they're resulting to anger. Yeah. And it's we can't show Kosi the same thing because that's what we want to do now.
Yeah.
So that's going to hurt our family. That's going to hurt whoever she's around. That's going to hurt her in the long run.
Exactly.
So it's just things like that for sure.
Yeah.
Can you think of any more?
Like drugs, addiction.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I grew up with some family members that literally lived on the side of us.
That's so crazy.
Doing drugs. Yeah, because we was just talking about that too. But I grew up with family members literally doing drugs next door to us, and hardcore drugs too, to where they was tripping out, and it was always fighting. Felt like every week the cops were at our house. It was always a situation. That's literally what I grew up around. Yeah. Literally.
And I feel like whenever you're a kid and you see your parents drinking, and then when you think it's okay to drink, and then when it's an addiction, that's a generational curse. Because some people are what if it's not anger, or how do I know my parents have that?
Or they make it seem with stuff like that, it's completely okay, or it's just your normal. Yeah. It's a generational curse, but you don't really realize that until you're delivered by God, and he delivers you from certain things, and he's okay, this is not my ways. This is not how I want you to live. This is not fruitful living at all. So one example that I can think of, I don't want to necessarily speak for Cullen, but it's ringing a bell for me right here. It's alcohol, because that's what y'all are on. My family doesn't really have necessarily alcohol problems. It's more on the drug problem. Mm-hmm. I mean, my mama drinks alcohol for fun, but it's not an addiction type thing, or it results to anger and all that. Hers is a completely different thing. But what I've seen with his, and
from what I've seen growing up, friends, family, stuff like that, drink, and it leads to arguments. Yes. It leads to family fighting.
But they've made that the normal. So it's his parents and stuff would come over to our house and all kind of stuff, and would bring ice chests. It was the normal of beer and stuff. Oh, you want beer, blah, blah, blah. Cullen's on his own journey, being delivered by God and everything. This is not okay. You shouldn't be having 4 to 5 beers just to have fun. Yeah. God doesn't want that for you.
Yeah. You can have fun drinking Sprite or
I say Coke, that all the time. I'm literally
that's my thing now, because that's how I used to be. It's every time I'll be either cooking, which is nice sometimes to have a beer too. Yeah. That nothing's wrong with that.
Guys just don't perform in drunkenness.
Exactly. When you overdo it. If I drink a beer or two, that's all I'm drinking is a beer or two. I do not want to see, because alcohol, all it does for you is it's from the enemy. Yes, and it's creating you into someone
Demons
that you're truly
real.
Not are. When you're drunk, you turn into somebody that you're not. Yep. It's just simple as that.
That's what the devil wants. He wants you to distort your mind. He wants you to be in a whole nother world. Same thing with drugs. Yeah. And for drugs on my end, I've seen what that does to everybody and everything. So it's I've never been drawn to either one. It's not really a thing for me, so I've never really had to deal with that.
Yeah.
That's why I said the main generational curses that we're trying to break is definitely like emotional and probably like wealth and everything, like building generational wealth and the trauma. Because it's like trauma has been passed down to us so much and so bad. Like there's still things we're healing from. And it's like we thought that was normal. We can't pass that down to our kids.
Yeah, and it's like if you don't heal from what broke you, it's just going to keep carrying on. And so I guess, like, what are practical steps that y'all have taken to break generational curses?
Open up your Bible.
Yeah.
Get in your word, for sure. And I feel like God just, like, changed my heart in a sense. Like, he literally put it on my heart one day. And he's like, so me and Cullen's dream is, like, to be on the porch one day, like, rocking in a rocking chair, like, just literally holding hands in the sunset. Like, we're old and we're like, okay, like, we had the most amazing life, like, and God just put it on my heart, like, y'all are going to be the ones that, like, it starts where we're the great-grandparents and we have marriages and healthy boundaries and health and wealth. Like, we talk about it all the time, and it's just so crazy to think about because it's like it all starts with us making those decisions, even the hard ones, even setting those healthy boundaries and everything because it's not everybody's normal. And whenever you're the first to make those decisions, you get looked at like, we're already set apart. God says we're set apart, okay? So it's like they hated Jesus already, so of course you're not going to think what I'm doing is right because your right is the unhealthy version and the generational curse way. So it's just crazy to think like we're going to be those great-grandparents and like it's going to start with us. Like,
that's the goal. Like
like marriages, healthy grandkids, they know how to communicate. They know how to set healthy boundaries. They know how to go to the Lord with everything. They know how to love correctly. Love like Jesus. Because what we've been taught that was love is not love.
It's not the genuine love like Jesus.
Exactly. It's hurtful. It's hurtful love. Like, if you don't do this, then I don't love you. If you
It's conditional love.
Yes. There we go. Transactional love as well.
There you go.
And, like, I guess, like, how do you set those boundaries with those people? Because most of that is your parents or, you know, your siblings or, like, I mean, they're part of your family because it's a generational thing. So how do you make the right boundaries to protect that?
First of all, what I would do is literally just stand firm on those. Like, first of all, in setting them, it's just having those hard conversations. Think about how much harder you're making your life if you don't have the hard conversations. Because there's been so many times where I'm like, in public or like we get around, like we've set boundaries in text messages and stuff and it happens all over again because it's like they'll try to see like what they could like get away with or like, you know, like, oh, I don't care about that, like this is my way, like forget what y'all doing, like it's not that important to us but it's important to us. So it's like I'm gonna keep saying the same thing and it's like sometimes you're looked at like, oh, like what are they doing or like we get hate a lot for it, for sure. But it's just like God helps us with all of that and like he put us like in an isolating season for sure. But it's like one thing we've learned is like if those people that you're setting like with family and everything, if they love you, they're gonna accept them, like,
and they're gonna respect them.
Right. Because like your mom can't say you're not her son anymore. Your dad can't say you're not their son anymore. My grandma can't say I'm not her granddaughter anymore just because of the decisions that I'm making. For me, it's been easier. My family kind of just watches and takes it because I'm not gonna lie, I'm like the Beyonce of the family, so it's like whatever I say, like
it goes.
Everybody's just
100%.
like like I've never played any games, so it's really just been like harder for his family because like he's been like controlled or like he's been listened and everything. So it's like now that he's stepping up and wanting different, it's like I can't believe you're doing this. Like, I can't believe you're acting like this and stuff like that. And it's like you're so wrong. Like God, we're not serving the same God. God wouldn't tell you to do stuff like that. And it's like biblically, like if you are applying God's word and his love to your life, like he will and you're gonna understand.
And it just sucks too because like our goal is to always help other people, like help my family, help her family in the best ways to get as close as they can to the Lord. Because I know how much he changed my life for the best and the miracles he does for me. So I'm generally just trying to help, and it's like they just can't receive the help. They want to choose to live in the world, and that's not the way to live.
And I will say that too, though, because one thing's for certain, like, especially relationship-wise, he has to take care of his family, and I have to take care of mine.
Yeah.
Because I can't pick up that sword and fight those battles.
For him. Yeah.
Yeah, with his family. So it has to be, like, if his family, and that is something we've dealt with, like, his family, like, hating me or thinking, like, oh, she's puppeting him. Like, this is a grown man. Like, he's choosing his way. Like, he's the leader of our family. And it is such an insult to, like, tell him, like, oh, no, she's controlling you and stuff like that. Like, no, God's just generally changing his heart and his mind and, like, the things that he's thinking. And instead of, like, respecting him for it, it's kind of hurtful where you're like, oh, no, like, you're so wrong, like, blah, blah, blah. Or it's, like, continuous, like, their way or the highway.
Yeah.
And we're not saying it's our way or the highway. We're just setting those healthy boundaries where it's, like, you don't have to be this perfect person to be around us, but we're going to set these healthy boundaries to where it's, like, you're not affecting our family and our peace and everything to harm us.
Yeah.
You know?
And then it was, for me, it was hard. The closer I get to the Lord, it's easier. But before, it was hard to, like, stand firm and just speak up. You know, like, because I was always shut down, even with her in the past. I was always shut down during an argument or something and just crawl into a hole pretty much and just be quiet about it.
Yeah.
So I still was struggling with doing that, even with my parents or my family members, anybody, and just speaking up and standing firm on what we believe and what we know is right for our family.
Yeah.
But the closer I get to the Lord every single day, the easier it is to just open up, because I'm standing firm on these boundaries, because like we was talking about with generational curses, we are creating a new generation.
Yeah. And I was going to ask you that, Cullen. Like, I know a lot of guys that, like, are in relationships and, like, the parents necessarily, you know, aren't on the same page about it. So, like, how is that? Like, how do you, like, be like, no, like, God says a man leaves his family for his bride. So, like, how do you walk in that and do it, like, securely? Because I know it's hard, because that's your mom, that's your dad. Like, it's people, it's your family you grew up with, you know?
And it's like we go through the same circles. Like, what I'm thinking right now is that you've had to do it, like, over and over and over again. And now it's just at a place where it's like, you're here and we're here.
Yeah.
Because God says forgive, but he doesn't say, like, reconciliation is, like, a must. Like, you don't have to go reconciliate every single time.
Yeah.
Guard your heart. So that's kind of where we've been, just because over and over again, like, we're like, all right, come on back in. And then, like, okay, jumping over that boundary, or it's like, do this.
We let our wall down, and just for it to get put right back up.
Yeah,
it's like we're just tired of that. Like, we want different.
Yeah.
We want different. We want genuine love like Jesus.
And it's like, if your family, or I don't want to say your family, but in particular, like, if your parents know the word of God, or they say they believe in God, then they understand that. Right. So it's like, when you don't come to that understanding, it's like, okay, then you don't know Jesus, because God says that you're going to leave your family. It's not saying forget about y'all. It's saying my family comes first. So when you're like, like, that's weird, then it makes me question who you are.
Exactly. And it opens my eyes even more to that, because it makes me want to draw them as close as possible to the Lord, because clearly it's just not there.
Yeah.
It's not there, because you can't say things like that, but then say, oh, but, like, I believe in God, and say things about him and stuff, because clearly you're not showing it.
Yeah.
You're not. So
I think somewhere Cullen had to grow as well, like, kind of what you said earlier, that really helped us is, like, his courage and confidence. And I feel like God started changing him from, like, the little cub to, like, the lion.
Yeah.
And, like, I'm speaking on that just because, like, it changed something in me as well, to be more submissive and to just, like, let him. Mm-hmm. Like, God literally told me, like, okay, you have to put your weapon down, because, like, this is not your fight.
Yeah. And
I think that's why it was also, like, it kept going downhill, and, like, I was being called, like, controlling, or, like, the puppet, because, like, you're not going to talk to me like that. You're not going to tell me all these things about myself. Yeah. Like, and then he's over here just, like, not that he wouldn't defend me or anything, but it's just, like, he would just be like, okay, like, can we all get along?
Yeah.
Like, you know, kind of, like, softer.
Yeah, it's like, no, you're supposed to stick up for me.
Yes.
You know, like, keep the peace. Like, I just want to keep the peace.
Yeah.
But now, like, that I've gained the courage, and I found out how to say things and go about it through God.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier.
It's, like, instant for him now, and I think that kind of draws, like, a solid line.
Yeah.
You know, now it's like,
because it's coming from me now.
Right. Yeah. And it's like, all right, well, Cullen don't play too. Like,
right. And this is from anybody. This could be work related. This could be anybody in the world. And when I speak up,
That's what I was
it's
gonna say
a different
too.
story than my woman speaking up.
Right.
Yeah. And I guess what was your realization in speaking up? Like, what made you be like, yeah, it's time for me to stand up for my
Because I seen
family?
how bad it was hurting her.
Yeah.
I seen how miserable it was making her because she had to keep speaking up, and they just kept everybody just kept dogging on her, and it was coming to her, and I was getting nothing. Like, they was still texting me on the side and be like, oh we know,
love you so much.
right,
Yeah.
right, like,
Happy birthday.
But you don't love
and it's
my
like,
wife.
no,
Yeah.
because like, if y'all say this about me, then say the same thing about my wife, because we are one.
Yeah.
We are one at the end of the day. We are the same person. We are married, and we're on one goal.
Yeah.
To carry each other to the Lord.
Yeah.
So.
And I think people fail to realize that, like, of course, like we say, like, you get married, you're one, but like, especially like when it comes to family, they still see you as like two separate people.
Yeah,
And
but
that's the struggle.
It's a
too.
hard transition for sure, especially because like y'all are coming into each other's families.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna be real, my family has always accepted Cullen like open arms.
Yeah.
And as the honest to God truth, sometimes I would get jealous because I'm like, you get to come to my family
And be welcome.
Yes,
Yeah.
like they make you feel like you've been a part of the family for years, and it's like I've always wanted that. Like I want to go over there and feel as comfortable as I feel like over here.
Yeah.
I want to feel the same way that you feel and everything.
Yeah.
So like that's something I had to get
And
over
I always
too.
wanted the same thing too, because whenever I go over there, them cookouts and all that, such at peace. That's what it is, and it's so like I'm such at peace. Like I feel like I'm around true family,
And it don't feel fake because you can feel fake. It's
And
like, I'm not welcome here.
Discernment is so
Yes.
real.
Yeah.
And like her family, like they speak up. Like if something's on their mind, they're gonna speak up and
Yeah.
not wait to tell all the other family members and stuff behind your back, and then it causes so much drama.
Yeah.
No, they'll come straight to you and tell
Which
you how they
is
feel.
a generational curse too as
Exactly.
well, and people don't understand that. Like gossip, that's a sin.
Gossip is
Yeah.
horrible.
Like, and that ruins relationships.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
now you're putting a mask on. Like me and Cullen would literally feel it whenever we walk in the room. Like we know y'all are just talking about us. Like
Yeah.
why are we here? But it's like we would still like push ourselves to just like overcome it and just be like, okay, let's just go just because
Yeah.
we love them. We
That's
want to
my
show
family.
support.
Yeah.
Yes, like, and we're genuine about it. So whenever you're bringing that genuineness and you feel, what the enemy has in store and his plans and stuff, it doesn't feel good at all. You're literally just like, okay, like I'm not going back over there.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like we just started to reach those points.
And
where
it's
like,
sad because just like you said, we love them. Like
Yeah.
we want to be around them and stuff.
Yeah.
But we're not gonna keep putting ourselves somewhere that's just breaking us apart.
Yeah.
It's dragging us down. We'll go over there and we'll feel that discernment. We'll feel it not at peace, and we'll stay there for a couple hours, however long, whatever. We're in the car arguing on the way home.
Yeah.
It's literally inviting the enemy in.
Yeah.
And if you think about it too, that's breaking a generational curse itself too.
Yeah.
Just because us choosing our peace and showing them what love actually is like, to where it's like if you call us today, like we're there. Like
Yeah.
we get a text message or something, we're still there. Like
Yeah.
I still told them like, okay, happy Easter. Like I hope y'all have the most amazing Easter. I hope y'all feel Jesus' love today. Like all of the above. We're still those people. Nothing is coming out of like hate or anything, but we
Yeah.
love y'all enough to be real with y'all and tell y'all, okay, y'all behavior is not okay.
Yeah.
It's unhealthy and it's hurting us.
Yeah.
But whenever we say that, it comes back to where it's like,
Offensive.
yes,
Yeah.
like,
And most of the time, it just flip the script. Like, okay, but how
Yes.
do y'all make us feel?
Yeah.
So it's like that's
It's like-
draining. That's
Yeah.
draining for us.
Right. Why not just sit here and listen to us first? We'll gladly hear out. However we making y'all feel,
Yeah.
we'll gladly hear it out. And then we'll pray about it and God will fix it.
Yeah.
But it's like y'all don't want to hear it.
Yeah,
Y'all
and
don't
it's
wanna
like
hear
the
how we
same
feel.
way you're expecting us to change is the same way you need to change. Like
Yeah.
that needs to be reciprocated. And then also when it comes to like I'm building my foundation on God and my family's foundation on God, and y'all are doing the opposite. So like where do you want
It's
us
gonna
to
clash.
Exactly. And it's like I see that now. Like we're not really close with our biological, I don't want to say biological, in-law. I don't know what it's called. You know what I mean? Like the additional family, because we're just on two separate paths of life, and that's okay because
No, it is okay.
when you want to break generational curses, why are you going to hang around the people that
Yep.
are stuck in
Are
them?
the things that pull you away from him. It's the same,
Yeah.
like sin pulls you away from Jesus, no matter which way you flip it, turn it, whatever you want.
Yeah.
So having a solid boundary is what helps the most, because it's like if you're constantly going around that, like
Yeah.
let's say like y'all are our friends. Let's say y'all love to drink, y'all love to party, like y'all wouldn't be our friends.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's just,
I mean,
Yeah.
Jesus literally says, right, in a way it makes sense.
Yeah.
If your left eye is causing you to sin, pull it out and throw
Yeah.
it away. If your left arm or right arm is causing you to sin, cut it off.
Yeah.
In a way, it's the same thing. If y'all causing us to sin, if y'all causing us to change direction of our single path to God, we need to throw it away in a way.
Now, it's not saying we wouldn't ever be around it. It's just like we're not going to make like it a constant
It's
thing.
boundaries. Because if I'm hanging around you and you're cursing around your child, I'm like, I don't curse at my child. What I'm going to start doing, you know? So it's like there has to be, it can't just be we're just hanging out as family. No, we can hang out, but there's going to be boundaries.
And it has to be looked at as healthy, because a lot of people take it as like, oh, like in a negative way, or it's like, but that's nothing but the enemy.
Yeah.
You got to think like the thoughts that the enemy gives you and the thoughts that God gives you.
Yeah.
Like God's going to tell you like, this is the right way, like keep doing this. And the enemy's going to tell you like, oh no, like they hate you. Like they think they're better than you.
Exactly.
You know how many times I've heard that? Oh, she thinks she's better than us and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, no, like I'm just choosing what's better. Well, we're just choosing what's better for our family.
Yeah.
That's it. Because we see better and we know that God wants better and he has a better plan for us.
Yeah.
And I mean, answering that calling, like, it's definitely hard, but the best advice that I can give is to just stay prayed up through it and to actually just do it. Set those boundaries and be firm with it.
You have to be firm. Because if you're not firm, then you're just going to keep dealing with the same
You're going to keep going down. Like, you're going to shake for everything. Like,
it will ruin your marriage. At the end of the day, if you're married and you're going through that, it will ruin your marriage.
Yeah.
You have to let it go.
Yeah. And, like, I guess what advice would you give to the person that's, like, they're not even married, but they're just, like, an ordinary person? They're, like, addiction runs in my family. I don't know. You know, drugs, all of this stuff runs in my family. Like, how do I break this? Like, yes, we can run to Jesus, but it's like, what are practical steps we can take? Because some people live with their parents, you know, and it's like, you're old enough to see, like, that's a generational curse. They're smoking weed. That's a generational curse. They're drinking. That's a generational curse. I don't want to do that for my family.
Yeah. I mean, small groups help a lot.
Yeah.
You know, but just like, I don't know, because how I was, how I was too, I never spoke up, you know?
Yeah.
Speak up. Maybe just tell them exactly how you feel in your heart, and maybe that would change something. You know, God might touch down on them and be like, all right, it's time for a change. I've heard many stories where a 14, 15-year-old kid is going through a lot with parents drinking, smoking, and they finally express how they feel and how it's breaking them down and setting them up for pretty much failure, and the parents change their life.
Yeah.
So
that's really good.
And I would continue to, like, continue to stand on what you want. Basically, like, because I'm just thinking, like, if I was in a household like that, like, let's say if I was still with my grandma and everything, and I'm clinging to Jesus and everything, and I'm seeing these bad things and stuff, I can't necessarily separate myself because I'm still a kid.
Yeah.
And I can't like, there's really necessarily nothing I could do.
Yeah.
That would probably be, like, my greatest advice, for sure.
Yeah.
It was like
what's yours?
finding an outlet and, like, talking about it.
Right.
Because I feel like that's a thing. Like, people live in a house of divorce. It's like, my parents are divorced. I don't want that. Yeah. How do I stop that? I mean, of course, reading your word.
That's such a good question, though. Because, like, I feel like I want to say more, though, like, but it's like,
well, you know, like, whenever you need an outlet and talk to somebody, you know who's the best listener possible is God.
Yeah.
He will listen to anything that's on your heart.
Yeah.
Just talk to him, literally, because whenever I talk to him, and the best place, literally, is in your dark room, literally just sitting there, because whenever I talk to him like that, I feel his presence. He is listening. He is right here with me, and that is the best, because when I walk out that room, I'm at peace no matter what the day has brought to me from the morning to nighttime.
That's true.
I'm at true peace when I talk to God and give it to him.
Yeah.
And I just, like, keep bringing your Jesus, like, to that situation.
Yeah, that's good.
That makes sense. Like, I would just keep putting him
in the middle of it.
Yeah. I feel like that's literally, like, what I would do, like, and just trust him.
Yeah.
Because, like, it is hard. It's so hard. Like, I'm literally, y'all don't even understand. Like, I'm literally imagining myself back in the same positions, back in the same house. Like, what do you do, Lexi? And I'm just thinking, like, I'd probably be in my bed with my Bible.
Yeah.
Something goes on. I'm seeing the Jesus in it. I'm going to be that voice. I'm going to be that change. Like, this should not be happening. I'm going to speak up. And it's just, like, I feel like a constant ardor of that would definitely change something. Because it's the same thing in real life. It's the same thing, like, with our boundaries and stuff. We can choose not to be around those people and to set those boundaries and everything. But for somebody, like, younger and stuff, I think that's what I would do for sure.
Yeah.
So that was good. And I don't know. I don't feel like anything else that I could literally say where it's like an actual step.
Yeah.
But like I'm definitely gonna be pondering on that for a little bit.
But that is really good. Yeah. But yeah, guys, I think that's pretty much it on generational curses and what they are and like what y'all can do to break them. I really think this was a good episode and just talking because like you said, most people don't know what that is. Like, it's like you're walking in a generational curse. What is a generational curse?
Right. And might I add, too, one of the generational curses, too, because, like, it literally is so many things. Like, and you don't even understand. Like, it's not just addiction and everything. Like, it's not just the anger and everything. Like, for us, like, it's even, like, money-wise.
Yeah.
Like, we're even thinking, like, bigger and louder and better. And, like, God has, like, blessed us with so much. It's, like, being better stewards of the things that he gave us and everything. Like, those are generational curses, or even reaching those things that he gave us. Like, those are all, like, big things to change and to do better at. Because that's definitely something we fought about a lot, too.
Oh, yeah.
Or finances and, like, generational wealth and stuff.
Money is
root of all evil. Because he used to, like, praise money. Like, he used to think, like, okay, like, you know, we
and it's like when you don't have any, it's like, this is the way.
Yeah. I would be stressing and arguing, and money is not everything.
Yeah. Right. God shows you that he'll always provide in every single way. And God's telling you, like, you don't worship money. You don't worship the things of the world.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Well, that's really good, guys. We love you guys, and we will be back with another episode. Love you guys.
Bye.